So this is Dr. Gerard, and I personally want to welcome you to the Lakewoods Chiropractic family. On behalf of myself, on behalf of our team, we want to certainly welcome you, and we want to express our gratitude for trusting in us to be able to do that. Today, what we want to do is teach you the $1 million secret to building and maintaining health. You know, a lot of you are sitting out there right now and you kind of feel like your body feels like a Ford Pinto, but it certainly isn't anywhere near a Ferrari. And what we want to do is give you tools to get it to start looking and running and acting like a Ferrari. So today is critically important, and the more you utilize these steps, the more you try them out in the sense, the better and the faster you're going to get results, and it's going to really piggyback from the care that you do. You know, listen, we've talked about the steps and the journey to get you well, and they'll consist of things like following your doctor's orders, sticking on schedule, trusting in the process, being patient, and when you feel better, not walking away and leaving the results on the table. There's so many tools to it, but today is really going to kind of put all of that together. You know, what makes Lakewoods Chiropractic really unique is really our system and our approach. You know, it's a system designed to not only get a person to feel better, but to see objectable changes that we can show before and afters to say, hey, you know, not only do you feel better, but we can see it. And not only can we see it, but we can reproduce it down the road, so that 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the road, there's a better, healthier you that you're looking at. And so we're excited to be able to do that, and we really feel that we're masters at kind of getting that out in you. And so this journey begins today, and we want to give you the steps to do that. Now, before we do that, I just want to tell you a quick, brief story of my journey, you know, to getting better health. You know, when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, I was struggling. I was sitting on an asthma inhaler. I was not healthy. I didn't feel well, even at 18 years old. And I found chiropractic, and I found specific chiropractic, and, you know, it's changed my life. You know, 20, 30 plus years later now, I feel better now. I'm more active, healthier now than I was when I was 18 years old. And I attribute that primarily to the specific chiropractic that I, continue to never let go of. And so, again, I can't imagine someone not continuing chiropractic care because I've experienced it. But I'll tell you this, the tools we're going to give you today is what's really going to cement this and kind of pull this all together. So I'm excited to get started with you. Let's begin our journey. So I want to get started with 6 steps that will absolutely revolutionize your health and your well-being. And today I want to start with step 1, and that is the concept and the idea of nutrition. I get more questions on nutrition, diet, than probably anything else over the years. And I try to kind of make this subject simple and complete. But at the same time, you'll certainly see that we can't and don't have the time to cover everything. So I kind of give what I call my 2 or 3 keys to having true health, well-being from a nutritional standpoint. And the first one I want to talk about is you absolutely, if you want to find and achieve health, you absolutely have to start eating clean. Now, what do I mean by eating clean? I mean eating clean is foods that are not made in a factory. They're not made in a science lab. They're not made in a chemistry lab. They're natural. They're whole food-based products that aren't physically or chemically altered, or at least minimally. Words like organic and grass-fed and free-range and wild-caught, those are going to be buzzwords that I'm going to like to see and I'm going to like to read. I'm not going to want to buy things generally that are in a package or that are in a can. Things that can last on a counter for 400 days. Those kind of things make me nervous. And so I am going to tell you, if you want to start to achieve and find true health, the first thing you have to do is you have to start eating clean. You have to get rid of that junk, not only for you, but for your children. Because believe me, children are some of the biggest, the biggest culprits of eating foods that aren't real. I don't know, we in the world of convenience, we've kind of given in to giving them foods and things that are not healthy. And let me just tell you from a personal standpoint, not eating clean, what it does for you is it creates a state of what we call inflammation. When your body is inflamed, it has a difficulty healing. So many of you are here today and are here with us now because you're in a state of pain and you are inflamed. And so one of the easiest ways to decrease inflammation is to just change the foods and start eating clean. The second thing I'll talk about with everyone is cutting your sugar. Like, listen, sugar, carbs, simple carbs are some of the biggest culprits of weight gain, diabetes issues, insulin problems, weight reduction issues, etc. Sugar is huge, trouble for so many of us, and in our society, everything contains so much sugar. I mean, the average person is getting 100 grams of sugar by the time it's noon. Toast, coffee, waffles, whatever. Holy smokes, that stuff adds up so fast. And so if I can get you to start to reduce the sugar and start to reduce the carbs that you're intaking, that's a game changer. I tell anyone, if you really want to make a lasting change, you'll cut your carbs in a day from, down to 100 grams of carbs in a day or less. And that, and maybe you don't do that every day, but the more days you do that, the faster and the better and the healthier you're going to be. And again, the less inflamed you're going to be also. So those are just two absolutely home run things. And then the final thing is to realize that if you're going to have, carbs, don't drink them. I always try to say the most dangerous place to gain weight, the most dangerous place to gain poor health is the liquid diet, because that just gets in you so fast and it processes through your body so quickly that, boy, if all you did was just changed over to water and you flavored your water with lemons or strawberries or limes or whatever, and you did that instead, if all you did was just stop the pop, stop the energy drinks, stop the juices and all the other stuff, and you just switched to water and fortified it with, say, a lemon or something, a lemon water instead, it's a game changer. And I'm telling you, for not only for your body mass index to your insulin levels, to your hormone levels, etc. Those are game changers. So this is strategy number one. So let's just quickly review this. Let's stop eating sugar. Let's switch over to water. And let's start eating clean and watch what happens to your health and how you feel. We'll talk about step number 2 next. So step number 2, getting good quality sleep. If you're starting with care and you're trying to get fast and positive results with us, realize that sleep is a game changer. It's literally it's an acceleration to better, faster health, because when you get good quality sleep, you can repair, you can heal, you can get healthier and get better faster. And so, people always ask me questions about sleep, and so let me just give you kind of the core bits and pieces to sleep, which is number 1, the right bed. So the first thing is having the right kind of bed to sleep on. You want to, because people ask me all the time, so should it be soft? Should it be firm? Should it be something in between? And the unwritten rule for most is moderately firm. So not soft, not super firm, not a board, but moderately firm. Now there's some great beds out there. Some people will use beds where you can change the settings on it for how firm or how soft it is. I am a big fan of things like the Tempur-Pedic foam beds and stuff like that, which are awesome. And if you want any information further on that, or you're you're shopping for a bed, let me know. I can get you information. But I think that's probably as good of a bed family as possible. Beds that are made by a company that are local, that's even better. So you have a lot of different options when it comes to beds, but really look at your bed. Usually beds in today's world have about a 5 to 10 year window. The second thing is the right kind of pillow. So I always say the best kind of pillow will not only support the curve in your neck when you're on your back, but it'll support the curve in your neck when you're on your side. And we really have some great ideas for pillows for you if you're searching for one. But just realize that pillow and that bed, you're spending 8 hours, a third of the day for some people, a third of your life lying down on that bed. And so your posture, your positioning on it are everything. And so the right bed, the right pillow, and then the right time. You want to create an environment that you can have enough time to get quality sleep. And it depends on the person, but the unwritten rule is, 6, 7+ hours. For some of you, that's not easily attainable. For some of you, it is. Realize though, you want to create the environment around you to be a quality sleep environment. You don't want a lot of distractions, a lot of noises, a lot of things, a lot of electronics in your way. You want to be able to have peace and quiet and deep sleep as long as possible. But again, making sleep a priority is everything to getting well and for you to get well faster here. So we'll move on now to step 3. Step number 3 is prioritizing your posture and exercise. You've been given some stretches and exercises from us, and of course, a lot of those have been structural, postural based exercises, and those play a critical role. And I get it, when you first start care, you're motivated to do them, and before you know it, they're collecting dust in a closet. I'm telling you, the more you stick to them, both now and down the road, the better off you're going to be, because your posture, your life doesn't seem to change for most of us. There's a lot of you sitting in front of a computer for hours at a time, or picking heavy things up, or lifting kids, or whatever. Your posture is such a critical role, and bad posture is so much trouble. The number of health problems that happen because of poor posture is outstanding. It creates everything from upper back, shoulders, middle back problems, headaches. The list goes on and on and on and on. And it's one of those things where, people know about it, but I don't think you take it seriously enough. I can tell you that when you look at a healthy person versus not, one of the first things I look at is, what does their posture actually look like? Now, when it comes to exercise itself, there's so many exercise types out there, and I could talk about a million things that are beneficial to you, different types of exercises that are great. But really, what I want to focus on is how you should exercise from a body perspective. When you look at the overwhelming body of research for science, when it looks at exercise, what do you get the most bang for the buck for in your human body? And that is high intensity short-term training, metabolic training, HIIT, burst training. There's a million words for it, but doing a set of exercises at a higher level for a shorter window of time is more effective than doing a constant slow-paced exercise for a long period of time. There's a big difference between doing a burst training workout for 15 minutes than there is sitting on a treadmill for 45 at a slow pace. The reason why is because your body needs to get almost shocked. It needs to be taken out of its comfort zone. And that's what high intensity exercise does. Now, some people go to gyms to do that, which is great. Some people do that at home. Some people can do that with body weight. Some people do that with machines. It doesn't matter. The idea is that you push yourself to an extent that you're not normally comfortable with. Common numbers or breakdowns include 20 seconds really hard and 10 seconds off. 1 minute, 50 seconds super hard, 10 seconds off, and anything in between. It just depends on your level of physical shape, but I can tell you, I make it a priority to move your body 4, 5, 6 out of every 7 days, minimally, to be able to keep it functioning right into being healthy. They look at people as they get older, and one of the main commonalities between those that are considered healthy at 80 and those are not is they've moved their body, they've strengthened their body, and they've not stopped exercising. So hopefully that helps. We're going to move on to some really exciting steps into step number 4 and beyond. We'll see you soon. So step number 4, this is one of my favorite steps and one of the newer steps that I've done over the years, but it's been an absolute, world changer. One of the biggest problems people suffer with when you come in our office is inflammation. And this is probably about as good as anything to allow the body to decrease inflammation and to reset itself. And what's really cool about this thing is it's free, but it can be challenging at first. and that's the concept of fasting. When I introduced fasting in my life, it was, like I said, everything was changed. And so I encourage those of you that really want to rocket ship up your results and really want to get better with your care and doing something when you're not here, and that is to start to introduce your life, yourself, to fasting. Now, fasting, there's a lot of ways to fast. There's a lot of different things to fast. There's short-term fast, long-term fast, water fast, juice fast. I'm going to stick to more the windows of fasting than I am going to be with all the different types of fasting. But you can certainly explore all of that, and there's so many great things with fasting. But just a quick couple of reasons why fasting is great. It allows the body to reset itself. It allows hormones like insulin to finally shut down. So maybe you're sitting out there right now and weight's an issue, or pre-diabetes or diabetes is an issue. This is a great tool to be able to help that. Energy, focus, just the list goes on and on and on, the benefits of fasting. And you, from a fasting perspective, you can fast for a certain number of hours. That's classically called intermittent fasting. And so some people will fast, a common fasting window is maybe to not eat in a 24-hour period of time for 16 hours and to eat in an 8-hour window. What does that look like? Well, that for most of you, that generally means that you skip breakfast and you don't eat until lunch, and then you eat till night. And so that's a common intermittent fasting window. Some people extend them out, 17 sevens, 18 sixes. The shorter the eating time, the better, the healthier, the more productive it can be. People will try this maybe 2-3 times in a week. They might try it one or two, maybe one of the times on the weekend, especially when you're first starting out. But intermittent fasting is an easy way. I myself also do at least once a week a 24-hour fast, just because I just love to kind of give my body a break. Some people would grow into 3-day fast and 7-day fast, and so many questions come up with fasting. I just want to tell you that your body is okay and designed to be able to do that. Now, obviously, if you're looking at a long 30-day fast, we would have a different discussion, but for most of you out there, just stop eating so much and so often, which is the other part of fasting, which is the rule that you can't snack. Once I removed this, it was absolutely life-altering for me, because I love to eat and snack all the time. And so I changed my lifestyle to going to a fasting lifestyle with no snacks. So listen, if you're gonna cheat, you're gonna eat bad or whatever, at least do it during one of the 2 or 3 meals that you have in the day, and that's it. Don't eat 6 times in a day and have 3 of those be cheat meals, because the body, the insulin levels, and the insulin numbers and the insulin levels never get a chance to shut down, and you're literally creating a state of disease in your body and inflammation. And so fasting is awesome. Fasting is a secret home run that you can use to be able to help you be healthier. We're going to move on to step number 5. I'm excited to talk about some of those, but we'll see you soon. So step number 5, supplements. We could talk and spend hours. We could create multiple talks on individual supplements, but one of the most common questions I get is, what supplements should I take? What supplements should I not take? And though it's very customized and specific for you and each individual person, what I want to do is kind of talk about some of the key ones, living where we live, living the life we live. What are some of the key supplements that because we're deficient, because we're lacking in, or that we need the most? And so, I just want to start off with one of the kind of the home run supplement of all, which is what I call vitamin D. You can get your vitamin D tested, but so many of us are so deficient in vitamin D. A quality source of vitamin D is so absolutely critical. That's why we have it in our office, because we have so many people that take it and want it. The next one I talk about, especially if you're a guy, so many people have heart problems, and omega fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids. We have a supplement here called, Optimum Omega, and it's so good because it's a quality source of omega-3 fatty acids. In fact, what some people get away with or get in trouble with is they'll buy a cheap supplement, and then they'll get poor quality omega-3 fatty acids, or they'll get mercury and other toxins that are entered into the supplement because it's just not filtered out correctly. So you want a quality supplement taken from a quality source. The next one people ask me about a lot, I try to tell them, most of us just don't cover a multivitamin, multi-mineral. So you want a quality source of a multivitamin, a multi-mineral. So many people are deficient in so many smaller, minute things, but it does add up. And so that's absolutely critical. Protein. Women are notorious for being deficient in protein. I know the protein that we have here, we have bone broth protein, plant-based protein, a quality whey-based protein, low in carbs, clean, grass-fed source, not full of antibiotics and not full of toxins and all these other chemicals. And so you want to choose a protein source that is just that. Otherwise, there's so many things that can create trouble. So you think you're taking this healthy protein, but it's just not doing it for you. And this is a great kind of a meal. So if you don't want to have a full meal, and we talked earlier about fasting, and you want to just kind of that, instead of having 3 meals, you want to kind of 2.5 in the sense, this can make a perfect kind of mix, middle meal, where you don't have to consume a ton of calories. Now what goes on with it, and this is probably my favorite of all time, is greens. So many of us are deficient in having enough fruits and enough vegetables, and if that's you, this gives you literally 10 to 15 servings of fruits and vegetables in one scoop. Plus it provides antioxidants and anti-cancer things and all these other stuff that they claim. But really, it's just a super powerful, almost like a superfood, and that's mixed in. So if it's me, it's protein one scoop and greens on the other scoop, and there's I mix it with coconut milk, and there it is. There's my health. In a glass. And super effective. There's so many other supplements that sit out there. Some are for organ systems, some because you're deficient in, and I'm a big fan of that. But you always want to make sure where you're getting your supplements from are tested, they're quality, they're clean ingredients. Because if you don't, you might just be taking things that are really expensive that aren't really doing that much for you. And so supplements are really just kind of another level of adding to it. And a lot of our patients will really start to dabble in and try some of these supplements out, see how they work with them, see if it can help assist them. And often it's a game changer. But don't forget, there are some core supplements like we talked about earlier that are absolutely necessarily, irregardless how you feel and how you're doing. Let's move on. And by the way, one last thing about that before we move on to step 6, in the end, you also have a special coupon that you can ask for when you come to the office next time, which has got a great kind of little coupon value that you can take advantage of too. Let's move on to step 6. So we're coming to the end. Step number 6 is detoxing. Detoxing in today's society is an absolute must, whether it's quarterly, whether it's monthly, because we're exposed to so many toxins in so many ways, in our food, in our air, in our water, on any of the convenience items that we use, in our cleaning supplies, on what we brush our teeth with. And so many of these toxins build up in our bodies and create kind of a wall where our cells can't kind of cleanse and can't get rid of the toxins. And so we become toxic, and we hear a lot of you out there will come into us and say things like, I have headaches, I have brain fog, I have fatigue, I just don't feel like I'm a 100% me. And so many times under the surface, it's because you're toxic. And I always encourage our patients to detox. We have a program in our office called the Detox System. You'll see that if you look up front, and it's kind of a 2-step system. There's a cell detox and a body detox where you can get rid of the toxins in the cells and then cleanse them out after on a body detox. And it's so incredibly effective for so many of our patients because detoxing is so important. Now, we talked about fasting earlier, and that's a great way to kind of pseudo detox. Well, detoxing itself is also a critical thing, and you want to have components that pull out the toxins not only out of the colon, because a lot of people know about colon cleanses, but you want to get the toxins where they're actually found in, which is in the cells. And so that's why you want to get a system to be able to pull them out. Again, people will ask me how often, and it really depends on the amount of toxins you're experiencing and what you're feeling like. I know myself, I detox kind of on a regular basis, maybe 2 out of every 3 months, that I'll do it just because of how much exposure that I have to different things in my life. I mean, some of you don't even realize that you're on a golf course. Think about the chemicals on the golf course to make the grass look green. Some people don't think about the receipt paper that you get for products that has chemicals on it. I mean, cleaning your floors and the amount of chemicals, like the list goes on and on and on. Detox can be super effective, super beneficial, easy to do. It's not as hard on the system as you want. Get the right type of detox system. And with that said, I said there would only be 6 steps, but we're here to over deliver. So I have one final action step for you to turn your Ford Pinto into a Ferrari. We'll talk about that in a minute. So the secret, the $1 million secret to health is really not a secret. It's just about taking action. In fact, I said I'd give you 7 steps. We over delivered. And that is small steps equal great rewards. You know, you've committed to your health, you've committed to getting better, your time, your effort, your energy, etc. And what we're committed to doing is giving you the entire picture of health. Listen, when you're not in the office, these are the tools that you need to have to find and maintain and to achieve that health that you're so wanting and willing and hoping to get. And we're here to deliver that. You know, you've taken the time to do this, and as my way of saying thank you for taking the time, I want to give you kind of a special gift, and that is when you come in the office next time, all you need to do is let us know that you enjoyed the video and that you want your special coupon. We'll have a very nice special coupon. If there's something in the office that we have that you want or that you were interested in or that sparked your intrigue, all you have to do is say, I want a special coupon. Now, with that said, I also want to tell you one of the greatest and most important jobs that you can do too is to share what you've learned with others. You know, listen, you have family, you have friends, you have, significant others and colleagues that are struggling out there. You have people that, kids that have ear infections and colic and asthmas and allergies. You have adults that have back pain, sciatic problems, lower back problems. They have shoulder problems. They're considering surgery, and they're taking pills and getting shots, and maybe they need some hope or some help. And if you want to put this in their hands, you can also request this next time you're in your office from me or the other doctor, Dr. Kennedy, directly to be able to do that. This is a special coupon. They can come in and get checked out. Believe me, there's some people out there that are hoping, praying, wanting for somebody to be able to give them hope and reach out to them and give them an option, and maybe that's you. I hope you enjoyed the $1 million secret to health. I hope you're turning your Ford Pinto into the next Ferrari. We'll see you soon.